Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Game on Cloud 9 here, and I'm here to bring you guys a new Bleach Special Topics video. In this one, I kind of wanted to go ahead and discuss my overall thoughts on what I think the Vandenreichs' objective is during this whole entire 1,000-year blood war, and not only their objective, but also what the special weapons are. Now, in case you haven't really been paying attention to the chapter, or not paying attention, but it didn't really click in your head when you were reading like 490 or any of the previous chapters in this arc thus far, Ichigo has been referred to as a special weapon. Now, at first when I was kind of thinking about that, I kind of thought, oh, well, they probably just consider him a big threat. But noticing in 490 when they're talking about like 5 different special weapons and how Ichigo is one of them, and how he's in Hueco Mundo and stuff, I think there's a lot more to it than Ichigo just being powerful. Considering looking at the other Shinigami in the series that are powerful, and Ichigo, to me, wouldn't be the only one that you should consider a threat. What about Yamamoto? What about Shunsui? What about Ukitake? What about Urahara? What about Yoruichi? What about, a lot of different Shinigamis, the Visors, all sorts of people. So I'm kind of wondering, okay, it probably is more to it than him just being powerful. It probably has to be something with the nature of his powers. And what exactly do they want with that? Now, the deal is, my theories as far as the special weapons go, I'm kind of thinking that the special weapons maybe, have to do with transcendent beings. Now, if you guys remember back in the Fake Karakura Town arc at the end when Ichigo was fighting Aizen kept referring to a transcendent being, talking about how he was a transcendent being, that he transcended the power of a Shinigami and a Hollow. And that, I don't think that was just something that was just thrown in just, to make Aizen just seem more powerful than, he was previous to having the Hogeku, but I think that is something that is actually occurring in the plot now. Because then Genjo later on talks about achieving the power beyond a Shinigami and the Hollow when you have full brain powers and Shinigami powers, and how they merge together and how you achieve this new level of power. And even when he took Ichigo's power, he took some of his full brain power, we kind of got a little glimpse of that, seeing as how he kind of resembled Aizen in the sense that his eyes changed into hollow-like eyes, but he didn't have a mask on his face or anything like that. Like Aizen didn't even have a mask when he was using the Hogeku state. So it kind of makes me wonder, not only that, but if Ichigo achieved any level of transcendence when he was fighting Aizen, that would also mean, even though his eyes did not change, his level of power, since his hollow side and Zangetsu kind of merged together in order to give him the final Getsuga, I kind of think that implied that he kind of had balance within himself. And since he also was more powerful than Aizen, I think he achieved the level of transcendence. And I'm also kind of wondering now, is that what it takes to be one of these special weapons? Do you have to have the powers of a transcendent being, one that transcended the Shinigami and a Hollow? Now, some of you may say, oh, what about a Visor? I don't think the Visors necessarily count as that, because if you look at them, they haven't necessarily reached that perfect level of balance, so to speak. Like, we haven't seen Shinji just use his Hollow powers and actually, his eyes only change and not have a mask on. We've had to see him hollowify. So he takes on kind of like you notice whenever we see any of them hollowify, they kind of get more aggressive. They act a little bit more hollow-like. But when Ichigo achieved this newfound power, he didn't act more hollow-like. He seemed perfectly in control, just like himself. So I'm kind of wondering if and he also had reached new heights of power. He wasn't just like when he, just put on his mask and swing around his sword. It's almost as if he gained all of the power of Hollow Ichigo. That's my guess as far as what I'm thinking that the 4 out of 5 special weapons are supposed to be is a transcendent being, maybe. And if they're not, and the reason why I'm saying that is because Aizen has also been said that they're planning on bringing him back in this arc. I think Kubo is supposed to bring him back. So if Aizen makes an appearance back, maybe that's because they're going to try to go after him and use him for something. Or maybe try to steal his powers away, just like they tried to do to Ichigo. And, if that were the case, then I'm wondering, okay, well, who's the other 3 who could possibly be transcendent beings in the story? And if it's not them, then maybe it could be like, okay, different types of powers. Like maybe since Ichigo, it has kind of like he has Shinigami and Hollow powers, maybe they need to get what do you call it, Chad next. They need to get Chad's powers, and maybe Orihime's, because I don't like Orihime. I think she's a Fullbringer, but I'm not 100% sure because they haven't necessarily confirmed it. So if she's not a Fullbringer and she's something else totally different, then maybe she's also added to the list as a special weapon. And maybe if you collect all these different things, maybe they wanna steal the powers of all these different special weapons in order to give it to the Vandenreichs leader in order for him to achieve ultimate power. That's my guess. Kind of like if any of you guys who watch this video watch or read Naruto, kind of like the whole thing with achieving the Sage of Six Paths power. That you need the power of a Senju Uchiha, you need the power of the Ten Tails, you know, all this different stuff. I'm thinking maybe it's somewhat like that, where you need all these different powers maybe in order to be able to reach this ultimate level of power that maybe they haven't necessarily got into explaining yet. Like this kind of like, you know, become somewhat like a Spirit King, because we know that we don't know exactly what the Spirit King is yet, which is also leads me to my point on what I'm thinking the Vandenreichs' goal it actually is. And I'm thinking maybe it's somewhat along the lines of what Aizen's goal is, because Aizen talked about how, you know, towards the end when he got ready to seal up, started speaking about the Spirit King. And I honestly wouldn't have seen a point in having this final arc if the Spirit King was not going to be uncovered and unveiled, and all the other, you know, stuff about the Spirit King and the Royal Guard wasn't going to be revealed in this arc. And my assumption is that the Spirit King, that maybe the Vandenreichs' leader, that he wants to go and maybe destroy the Spirit King, whatever it is, because we don't know what it is, because it has been referred to as a thing. So whatever it is, or whatever person it could be, you know, I'm like, it's been referred to as the linchpin that holds the Soul Society together. So maybe if the Vandenreichs leader, since he wants to, I guess you say, cause peace, maybe he sees peace as something as ultimate destruction. He thinks that ending the worlds completely or throwing them out of whack will end everything, therefore there will be no violence. Maybe he has that kind of twisted thinking. So maybe if he destroys the Spirit King, maybe that will ultimately destroy the world. And we all know that Quincy's are actually able to destroy something completely. It's not like a Shinigami where they'll cut it down and, you know, the soul will still exist. So it's not like they can just kill the Spirit King and he'll come back eventually. Like, no, if the Vandenreichs leader, if the Spirit King is actually some kind of person, if they destroy the Spirit King completely, then that would mean, I would think that the Soul Society will completely crumble, and I think that he wants the Soul Society to be destroyed, of course. So that's my guess as far as what I'm thinking the overall goal of the Vandenreichs is. And I'm thinking maybe since Yamamoto spared his life, maybe they used to be friends at one point in time. Maybe at the beginnings of the 13 Court Guard squads, or Goatee 13, they had an alliance. Maybe the Quincy's did work with the Shinigami at that time. But then it winded up to where the Vandenreichs leader, his ideals were a bit different, and that's how it led into this clash. That's my assumption. So maybe he had ideals like Aizen, and he wanted to destroy the Spirit King eventually, or maybe he didn't want to change his methods as far as how he handled things. It's kind of hard to kind of call right now as far as what his methods would be exactly, because we haven't really gotten that much insight on him. But I hope I'm making sense to you guys in this video as far as, you know, I'm saying like if he had some kind of methods as far as maybe he was cruel to people or something like that, or maybe he destroyed hollows without reason or something like that, and Yamamoto didn't agree with the way he did things, and maybe that's why they fell out. Maybe that's why the Quincy's had a little war. Maybe that's how it ended up leading to, you know, a big war where the Quincy's ended up getting killed off. So these are my thoughts, guys. Tell me what you guys think. What you guys think maybe the special weapons could be. What you think the Vandenreichs' overall objectives are, like the real objective, like what you think that they are trying to achieve. Not just what the Vandenreichs leader said about he wants to create peace. What do you think his ideal of peace may be? And, you know, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thumbs up if you did, and if you didn't, then thumbs down. Also, go ahead and make sure you comment down below, and make sure you tell me your thoughts. And also, if you like my channel, you like these kind of videos, then feel free to subscribe. It would be greatly appreciated. Anyway, I'm glad you guys enjoyed this video if you did, and I want you guys to have a nice day. Anyway, see ya.